Are you guys ready for your headliner? That was pretty good. That was pretty good. I feel like we can do better. Are you ready for your headliner? Hell yeah. He has 2 YouTube specials with millions of views. You might have seen him on a fucking billboard on 6th and Union. Make some noise for Andrew Rivers!
A round of applause for everybody you've seen tonight on the show so far. Cool. Yeah, I get it. They don't deserve much. They're not on a billboard. That's me. Did you guys see the billboard yet? No. This one guy's like, yeah, that's cool. It's not that big of a deal. It's pretty cool. I never thought I'd see my face on a billboard that didn't say missing. So that's pretty fun. I'm finally as famous as Vern Fonk. I made it. Yeah. My friends have been calling me all week. They're like, dude, congrats on the billboard. That's fucking awesome. Also, I got a couple DUIs. Can you, help me? And I was like, oh, no. I'm not a lawyer, actually. Although, if you're calling a billboard for legal advice, it is my professional opinion that you are fucked. It's not gonna end well. It's pretty cool. I wish I was a lawyer. It's pretty cool. Hey, no job, no credit, no problem. But I already used that slogan on my dating profile, so I'm trying to drum up some business. I don't know. Coincidentally, a lot of the women I date are just like personal injury lawyers because they don't get paid unless I score big. They're hookers, is the joke. Come on, guys. I'll explain them. Come on. Let's go. No, it's cool to be on the billboard. I decided to wait underneath it until somebody recognized me. Boy, that took a while. It's pretty humbling. Here's what I learned standing here at the billboard. Nobody looks at billboards anymore because nobody is even looking at the road. Everybody is staring at their phone, they're texting and driving. No one's paying attention to anything. I was underneath the billboard for like an hour, and no one even honked at me. I was like, I think I need sunscreen. This is fucking been a while. Finally, a very nice gentleman stopped. He was like, are you okay? You look thirsty. I was like, yeah, it's hot, man. Leave me alone. Then he offered me a blowjob for a couple bucks. So, luckily the billboard is right next to a CVS, so I was able to buy a Gatorade afterwards. Yeah, I was thirsty. And I got a blowjob, so it's a really win-win situation, yeah. Yeah, it's great to be here, grand opening, Tacoma Comedy Club. Give them a round of applause, hell yeah. I don't know if you're aware of this, but 13 years ago, I performed at the grand opening of their first location. And so, yeah, I'm a big deal, and so they called me to perform at the grand opening of this, which is such a huge honor, and, 13 years later, still in Tacoma, it's going well, yeah. We'll give them the Sunday night, it's not, yeah. Canceled my arena dates to be here, but no, it's a huge honor, and as much of an honor as it is to perform on the grand opening, my favorite weekend to perform at a comedy club is the second weekend, or the third, or just any weekend where they figured shit out enough, when they know where the button for the lights is, or they know how the microphone works, right? You come to the grand opening? What the fuck is wrong with you? Do you like having sex with virgins too? No, it's not. We're in a virgin comedy club. Yeah, it's pretty hot. It never goes well the first time. People are screaming and crying, and there's blood everywhere. It's not gonna call me. Call me when you've been chuckle fucked a little bit. Just give me some. Call me when you've been a whore. I just want a little experience underneath the belt, if you know what I mean. No, I love the club. They're great people, and one of my favorite things is the decoration. I've never studied interior design or anything, but I've had a finger in my ass. So I will tell you, it's so cool how they set everything up. When you walk in, there are jokes on the wall So like even in the lobby, you're like laughing subliminally before you get in, and then you come in here, and then there's just, photos of great comedians, and so if you make the walls of a comedy club, that's a huge honor. It's a little sad if you're in here because you're dead, but yeah, I don't know if one person shouted it out. Yeah, all these people are dead, so that's disturbing. Just George Carlin staring at me in the corner like, what has comedy become? That's actually his punishment for sinning against God. He is trapped in the walls of a comedy club in Tacoma, Washington. Fun. Well, you guys picked a great show. I'm very famous, and it's gonna be a good one. It's not supposed to be a laugh yet. But a couple years ago, I filmed a special with this website, Dry Bar Comedy. Anybody heard of Dry Bar Comedy? 2 people killing it. It's basically Netflix for Mormons. If you've never, I'm not Mormon, by the way. I used to look very Mormon. Even as a kid, if I rode a bicycle, my whole neighborhood went into lockdown. And not that there's anything wrong with being. Here's a couple things. If you're not familiar with the Mormon religion, you're not allowed to have like alcohol or caffeine or fun, so they made a service where you can edit out offensive parts of TV shows. Say you're like a Mormon boy and you want to watch Game of Thrones, but you're offended by nudity. You select from the menu no nudity, and then you just watch the other 13 minutes of Game of Thrones. It's very exciting. I told my dad that I was filming a show with him. He goes, do they have the opposite service? I was like, I think that's just porn, Dad. Like, I don't know. How much dialogue is there to skip? Here's your pizza. Boring. Fast forward. Let's see some tits. Anyway, Dry Bar Comedy ended up getting sued by Disney for $60 million. Because check this out. You're not allowed to take people's movies and edit them and then charge people to watch it. Who would have seen that coming? Right? But bank error in my favor, because after that, they were like, who else can we take advantage of? And I'm like, comedians don't read contracts. So I filmed a comedy special. It got 15 million views in the first year. And after that, I still owed them $5,000. So yeah, that's why I'm here. Just trying to take some of your money in person. Honestly, that's kind of, that whole situation, that's kind of why I feel bad for Kanye. Okay, relax, I'm not gonna say anything racist, I don't even see Jew, okay? Calm down. You guys are like, we thought the bald guy was gonna be racist, holy shit. Look, if you haven't kept up with the new, Kanye thinks his record label didn't pay him enough money, and now he hates every Jewish person. And a bunch of my friends were like, I'm not gonna listen to his music. And I'm like, well, I'm gonna stream his music more, because I want the Jews to get their money, okay? I'm a hero. I'm an ally, right? And so I just feel bad, because I'm like, I've been a comedian for 15 years now, and I hate to break it to you, Kanye, but that's just show business. Like, it has nothing to do with Jews, I'm getting fucked by Mormons. They're not fucking me, they're just inside of me and someone else is jumping on the bed, but... That was a long way to go for a soaking joke, but... Glad it resulted in climax. I like listening to rap music because I live in Tukwila. That's right. I'm falling asleep to gunshots and sirens every night anyway. I'd rather do it on my terms. It's interesting to see rappers get old because, it's always it's a personal art form, usually. And so, like, when rappers were in their 20s, they were like, all their songs were like cars and girls, but now Jay-Z's 50, so he's like, invest in art, motherfucker. And you're like, oh, it's actually really good advice, Rappers have always had the best financial advice, right? When a rapper gets rich, what's the first thing he does? He buys diamonds and he puts them in his teeth. It's a great place to store your valuables. Banks can fail. People can rob your house. No one's gonna steal your face. And if they do, at least you saw who did it. It's a pretty cool move, just wearing your savings account. pretty badass. I think you can tell a lot about someone's savings account by looking at their teeth. Because if you're missing a few teeth, you've missed a few payments, right? Blue tooth, probably rich. Yellow tooth, probably not. I looked it up. It's only $150,000 for a diamond grill, so pretty attainable. A couple more of these shows. Save up. If you're a rapper, though, that's got to be the last $150,000 you need, right? You don't want to have a tough year. You know, my album didn't sell. I got to pawn my molar. I like rap music too because it's very direct. You don't have to Google a lot of lyrics. Well, some of my friends try to get me into Taylor Swift, and they'll play a song, but then 10 seconds into the song, they just pause it, and they're like, okay, so this is actually about her ex-boyfriend, but from like 10 years ago. It's actually like a remix version of the song because of her record label. Don't even get me started. Actually, there's like a Netflix documentary that explains all of this. You should just check that out. And I'm like, what? I didn't know there was Lord of the Rings backstory to play a song. I've missed season 1 of Taylor Swift, and none of this shit makes sense anymore. You don't get that with rap music. You put on a rap song, he's like, that's why I fucked your bitch, you fat motherfucker. You're like, oh, I bet I know who that's about, you know? One of my favorite rappers is Sir Mix-a-Lot, Seattle icon. Yeah, he made the song Baby Got Back, famously. And I feel like he doesn't get enough credit for being a progressive icon, you know, a voice of our generation. Because he was the first guy to make fat asses cool. That was not a popular opinion in 1992. Imagine the turmoil he must have gone through. He was so brave. Every night he's at the strip club and women are shoving their big tits in his face and he's like, I can't take it anymore. I love big butts, I refuse to lie. There's another line from that song that doesn't get enough credit, too. It's one of my favorite parts, and he goes, a word to the thick soul sisters, I want to get with ya. I won't cuss or hit ya. Talk about being ahead of his time. He was anti-hitting women in 1992. That was not a popular opinion back then. Especially if we're grading for his, you know, for his genre. I couldn't think of the word at the last second. Fuck. Perfect joke. I'll wait for you guys to get on board with this shit. No, I'm just kidding. I have a friend who's 21 because I'm hip and I'm cool. And it's interesting hearing her perspective on things because Kanye's been a shithead for her whole adult life, so she doesn't get why we care. She's like, who gives a fuck? He's an idiot. Why do you care? We're like, you know, I'm like, no, you don't understand. It used to be so good. It's like trying to explain America before 9/11. You're like, it was so good. She's like, I've read some books. It was not that good. You're like, I know. The warning signs were there, for sure. But we ignored them, you know. We were watching a movie the other day, and a canceled actor popped up on the screen. And it just kind of ruined the movie experience because, you know, we're just thinking about the shitty things that the guy did for 10 minutes instead of focus on the movie, right? And you're not really following the plot line. You're like, Kevin Spacey is a love interest. That doesn't add up, you know? And so I was thinking we need a Netflix for liberals, right? Like the Mormons have their version. What about a Netflix for liberals where it shows all the canceled actors and what they got canceled for? And then you can decide whether to skip the scene with them in it, right? And it's like possession of cocaine, and you're like, who gives a shit, right? And then it's like jerked off in front of a girl in his trailer. Oh, it's a really good movie. Oh, come on. Voted Republican once in 1984. Fuck that, take away his kids. He doesn't deserve a family. This asshole. It's weird who gets canceled and who stands the test of time. I can't believe Van Gogh paintings are still worth millions of dollars. That guy cut his ear off and mailed it to a woman. Talk about unwanted advances. He's like, I'll show you who's a good listener. I guess it had to be hard to flirt back then. You couldn't just send a dick pic. You had to paint it. Ooh. It's a starry night indeed. Have someone deliver it. Hey, this one's for my girlfriend, this one's for my mom. Don't mix them up, please. Also, you're a bird. This is gonna go well. That was the first tweet. Oh, boy. Crazy times. Crazy times. I can't believe, one thing hopefully we could take away from all this is recognizing the things that are actually important to all of us. And for me, I couldn't have made it this year without family, with money. I mean, that made things so much easier. My brother lives in Hollywood because he's a big-time director. And you might have seen some of his work, actually. He does all the TV commercials for Taco Bell. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I feel let down by my high school guidance counselor. I didn't know that was an option. He gets paid millions of dollars a year to go, when I yell action, eat the taco. It's not that hard. Stay away from the dog, he's a biter. Also, I've never been in a Taco Bell commercial. How is that possible? Have you seen my hair? It's perfect. I thought Hollywood was all about nepotism. Guess nepotism doesn't run in my family, But he's got 2 kids, so I go visit all the time. And, I still remember the day he told me I was going to be an uncle, because he came downstairs after work. He was like, we're having a baby, and we need you to move out. And I was like, this is bullshit. But this is how you treat family, But the kids are great. They're 6 and 4, which is such a great age, because they can actually walk and talk and get me stuff from the fridge. It's a perfect age, but you gotta be careful. They're smarter than you think at that age, too. I had an incident already. Oh, no, I'm allowed near schools. It's fine. You guys are like, if you have to say it. Here's the problem. Whenever I fly, I try to bring a full-size pillow on the plane. And I'm sure TSA thinks it's weird and flight attendants make fun of me. I don't really care. I just smoke a bunch of pot. I get a window seat, and then I wake up in a new city, I'm like, oh, I time traveled. This is amazing. But recently I was visiting my brother, and his 4-year-old comes running up to me. She's like, you forgot your pillow here last time. I go, oh, how did you remember that it was my pillow? She goes, it smells like you. And I was like, oh, shit. She doesn't know it yet, but in 10 years, she's gonna be at Coachella, like, hey, this concert smells like my uncle. Someone's burning rope over here. My brother just got baptized for the first time at age 40, and we weren't raised religious at all, so when my parents found out, they actually freaked out. They called me up, they'll go, we're worried about your brother. We need you to check in on him. I'm like, hey, relax. As far as a midlife crisis goes, Jesus is pretty mild. It could be worse. At least he's not buying a Corvette and abandoning his family. Too close to home for Tacoma. I apologize. I should have known that wasn't gonna go well. There's nothing wrong with Jesus. It's great for his life and his family. It just sucks because sometimes he gets a little judgy if I want to catch a buzz. We took a family vacation and rented an Airbnb together. At the end of the night, I just opened the door to smoke a joint on the porch, and my brother starts freaking out. He's like, don't do it out here. It's not legal in this state. I don't want the neighbors to freak out. I'm like, wow. I knew weed made you paranoid, but I thought you had to smoke it first, Also, we're in Florida. I don't think they're gonna care. Florida's just happy I'm not doing bath salts. Like, literally, that is the state of low expectations. I think that's on their flag. And I get it. I used to be embarrassed I smoked pot until I started touring America as a comedian, and I realized how popular OxyContin is. I was like, I'm doing fine, Drugs aren't a big deal, in moderation. Sunday, you guys are on the fence. No, I'm just kidding. We got plenty of time to sober up before work. You probably won't, but the effort is what's important. No, drugs are like speeding. Speeding's illegal, technically. But as long as you're going with the flow of traffic, no one's gonna care, right? If you're going 80 and some guy flies by you at 150, who do you think the cops are going after? Exactly, the black guy doing 55, but that's besides the point. I'm like, I don't want to be a hassle, he's paying for the trip with his Taco Bell blood money. His Taco Bell bloody stool money, so I'm like, all right. You just tell me where to go. He goes, oh, across the street there's an abandoned field. Just go smoke out there. Because I don't want the neighbors to freak out. So now I'm standing in an empty field. Like, no, I think this is worse. I'm pretty sure the neighbor's gonna peek out the window, see a tall, dark, shadowy figure in an empty field, a lighter flickering in the wind, you know? Hey, is that Scarecrow trying to light himself on fire? What the fuck is going on? You know, now that I'm out here, the stars are really pretty tonight. Why don't I just lay down on this picnic table and stare at the moon for an hour? I'm sure there'll be 911 calls about that. It only takes 5 minutes to smoke a joint if you're doing it right. So I'm out of there before anyone can notice. And I'm trying to find my way back to the Airbnb, but it's one of those condos where like all the buildings look the same. So now I'm at building J, trying to find building C, like a backwards alphabet DUI test, you know? The whole point is to not freak out the neighbors, but now I'm tiptoeing through Nana's rose bushes, peeking in windows. Is this C? Where am I going? Finally, I give up. I call my brother to come rescue me. And he does. We get inside. He's giving me this big lecture about drugs and Jesus. And at the end of it, I go, so you're telling me whenever you feel anxious, you just remember that Jesus loves you and everything feels better? He was like, yes. I was like, that's what drugs do for me. You're talking to a guy who's not there. I have imaginary friends. We're not that different, you and I. I was like, I think you should try drugs. You would love it. That was about 2 years ago, and now he grows pot in his backyard. So hell yeah! I won the conversion battle. Take that, Jesus. All right. We're all going to hell together. Hanging with family is great, you know. Love my family. Nothing like 10 days with my brother's kids to remind me why I push away anyone who's ever loved me. I don't know. I'm trying to date. I'm done dating younger women. I'm 38, so most young women have been done dating me for a long time. But just announcing a policy change. 23-year-olds, you're super hot, but I can't even read the font on your Instagram stories, so get out of town. It's fine, go have a good life. I'll circle back when I'm 50 and rich. That seems to be a more appropriate timeline. I'm 38, that's not old, but I'm not a young man anymore. It's time to date a woman who can recognize the signs of a stroke, right? My priorities have shifted. Everyone else on dating apps like, do you have any pets? LOL, what's your sign? I'm like, do you know CPR? This is important. I don't like using dating apps. I prefer to meet my women in the wild. It's what it feels like. Not like hunting, but just more like trying to feed a deer an apple in the woods, you know? You're just walking along, you're like, oh my God, oh you're so pretty. Oh, no, you're gonna scare it. Hi. Oh, you're so majestic. Hi, are you hungry? Do you want? No, not It's too fast. I wasn't gonna hurt you. Just wanted to have sex with you. Not the deer. We got lost. All right. I don't know why I haven't been able to find anyone, you know? I mean, I make good money, I own a home. Like, I have things you could take in a divorce. I just feel like, just like a 5-year commitment, I would sign everything over, you know? Yeah, you guys are like, yeah, we'll take our chances on the street. I don't know. Guess it's like my grandma always said, you know, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it suck your dick. So... This show is sponsored by PETA, by the way. I don't like using the dating app because it feels like everyone just wants to fuck. I want to fuck too, but not immediately. It feels weird, right, to summon a human from your phone? It feels like I'm making out with my Uber driver. I'm like, well, the plates match, just get in, you know? What's the name? Andrew? Andrew, get in here, Andrew. It's like, all right, relax. I just met you 3 minutes ago from an app, and you want me inside of you. I'm gonna need a little more information. How about a user review system? Didn't kill me, 5 stars. Shit, I gotta raise my standards. It is a bad analogy, because people are way more careful with their Uber drivers than they are their Tinder dates. You ever see someone order an Uber? They double check that the plates match. They live share their location with a friend. They get dropped off 3 blocks from their apartment just in case. People get a Tinder match. They're like, here's my address and the time of day my roommate's gone. Come fuck me now. It's like, I'm not even saying don't do it. I'm just saying be careful, okay? If you tell someone you like to be tied up, make sure you also mention you like to be let go. That's important. Started seeing this girl recently. She's great. She's been previously married, so she's a rescue. And, have you tried dating in adulthood? It is exactly like going to the pound, okay? I'm not saying that they're bad dogs, but there's a reason they're in there. Just walking down the aisle of sadness in the arms of the angel. Trying to pick one out, you know? Some of them wag their tail at anybody that walks by. Some of them are like, I'm nervous, let me smell your fingers first, right? I'm the one shivering in the corner like, I don't deserve love. Oh, don't get close, I'm gonna pee. Oh. I found out that her last husband actually killed himself, which is great news, because that means I'm her type. Like, it's gonna work out. I know, it's a dark joke, but hang in there, really. We're gonna tie the knot soon. Perfect, that's great. No, I just want 3 people laughing, and the rest of you are like, this guy needs therapy. Is this a comedy show or cry for help? Fucking both, pay attention. I actually got over my last breakup with the help of a therapist, but it was a massage therapist, which is weird. She didn't jerk me off. That would have been much less awkward than what actually happened. I don't know what your typical massage expectations are like. I'm hoping to just get naked and never talk to you again, like a Tinder date, you know? But she got real touchy-feely with my actual feelings. I didn't appreciate it. She just asked me all these personal questions. She's like, are you single? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, why? I was like, what? Did she send you? Like, what's going on over here? What are you guys, splitting my deductible? What's with the line of questioning? Maybe it's my fault. Maybe I walked into the wrong building, or I accidentally circled deep issue massage, right? But I'm trying to relax. She's going, tell me where the pain is. I'm like, on the inside, you know? But every time I try to give like a vague, avoiding answer, she like digs her knuckle into my thigh like I'm a prisoner in Guantanamo Bay. So she's like, how come things didn't work out? I'm like, oh, people change and people grow, you know? Time heals all wounds. And then she fucking elbow drops me, and I'm like, I didn't appreciate her enough. I'm so sorry. I ignored her phone calls until she acted crazy, and I blame it on her. When I left that massage office, it felt just like regular therapy. I was crying. I called my dad to apologize. I had a bill for $800, you know? That's when I learned sometimes not the happy ending you wanted, but it's the happy ending you needed. I get put in the friend zone a lot, which sucks. It's not a big deal, because I'm a good friend. Like, I really, you know, I'm a great person, and, you know. My friends tell me that they love me all the time, but no one I've ever had sex with has said it once. So, like, I can't even blame her for making the right decision, you know? It's just awkward sometimes. Like, I was hanging out with this girl, I leaned in to kiss her, and she's like, Andrew, I can't, you're my ride or die. And I was like, ride or die? Sounds like you'd rather die than ride. Like, that's... She would rather take a bullet for me than a dick from me. Like, that's pretty deep in the friend zone. That was a powerful laugh. Gonna cast a spell on me. Yeah, I'll get you, my pretty. Entertaining to me only. All right, noted. All right. I became an accidental pothead during COVID. Yeah, it was an accident. I used to smoke just a little bit, and then they closed everything except pot shops and grocery stores. I was like, this economy needs me. I am a hero. I will order Uber Eats every single day so these frontline heroes can survive. But after 2 years and a couple million people dying, I had a thought, like, do I really want to be inhaling smoke in my lungs every night? And it turns out the answer is still yes. Here's the problem. My dad had a cancer scare this year. He got cancer. It's pretty scary, but he's doing fine. His only dying wish was that you laugh at the fucking joke. So don't hold back. I'm not afraid to pull the dad has cancer card. It's interesting, I notice whenever I tell people that my dad had cancer, if it's a young person, they always go, oh, I'm so sorry. And if it's an old person, they always go, what were his symptoms? Right? Because young people are like, I'm gonna live forever. And old people are like, I'm gonna die tomorrow. And 40-year-olds are like, I think that'll hold. This really is a cry for help. So I was going to continue the conversation, you know, I'm like, well, it was esophageal cancer, so he started having trouble swallowing. And then, inevitably, within 60 seconds, I noticed that they just start swallowing in front of me. They're like clearing their throat, they're like, Tacoma, okay, cool, good. I'm like, are you testing yourself for cancer in front of me? I'm not sure that works. I haven't done it yet. I'd like to start fucking with people just to see what I can get away with, you know? Just be like, yeah, one of the main symptoms was he was having trouble balancing on one leg. Just see how long it takes him to start leaning one way in the conversation. Anyway, I started smoking again because I was like, well, Snoop Dogg hasn't had a cancer scare yet. I should be fine, right? That's my science. I try to give myself breaks. I'll take like 5 days off and then like 360 days on. You know, just try to rotate it. Just try to switch it up once in a while. And I tried to switch to a vape pen because I thought that might be healthier. I Googled it. I was like, is vaping healthier than smoking? And it said maybe. And I was like, good enough for me. Close tab. Look at me doing my own research, you know? Here's the problem with the vape pen. I don't trust myself with it because it's too easy to use, right? It's too easy to just press a button and get electronically high, right? It's too easy to just roll over first thing and be like, I've had a tough 3 minutes this morning. I deserve it, you know, like. When you make drugs easy to use, it's not good, right? It's like, there should be some stank involved. There should be shame. You shouldn't be able to puff a cloud of vapor and disappear like the Batman, right? There should be some, I don't know. When you make drugs too easy to use, it's a problem, right? When you put heroin in pill form, you get Ohio. Like, it's not good for, there you go. All right, thank you. When I'm in Ohio, I say Tacoma. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. Have some fun. One of my best friends lives in Ohio, and I live in Seattle, and so she came to Seattle recently, and I decided to play tour guide, you know, so I was like, check out the mountains and the waterfalls. And then just a couple weeks ago, I was in Cincinnati, so she was like, let me return the favor. Here's our tire fire. Do you want to see a pile of needles? I'm like, I'm from Seattle, we have that. That's pretty, we have the needle. It's like the biggest one, you know? I don't know if you're paying attention, but Ohio is having a tough time. They're really going through it. They had a train full of toxic chemicals flip over and spill everywhere. And they cleaned it all up and they put it in a truck to take it to a safe location. And then that truck flipped over on the freeway. I'm like, who the fuck's in charge of your nuclear plant? Homer Simpson? Like, what is going on? Ohio is proof that superheroes are not real. They have dumped so many toxic chemicals in the water and in the soil, and nobody tried to stop 9/11. That seems suspicious. I'm just saying, I was there a couple weeks ago. I didn't see a Ninja Turtle anywhere. I did see a snapping human. Yeah, it's not exclusive to the Midwest. We have them in Tacoma, you know. She kept trying to convince me. She's like, no, Ohio's awesome. We have the most astronauts of any state. I was like, that's not the brag you think it is when you're impressed by the number of people that try to leave. Like, that's not... But I was like, I wonder why that is. So I looked it up, and in June of 1969, one of Ohio's rivers was so polluted it literally caught on fire. 1 month later, the first man landed on the moon, and he was from Ohio. Sounds like a bunch of guys standing around like, this place is not gonna be inhabitable much longer. We better fucking start exploring. Can you imagine an astronaut from Ohio, you know? He's like, I've heard Jupiter's gravity can kill a man, but my depression is also crushing. I'll take my chances in space. And he gets up there, oh, what a beautiful planet. Oh, it's a gassy giant with rivers of lava. Reminds me of home. Oh. I take it back. Ohio did grow one superhero, LeBron James. But he fucking left too. So, turns out every great man from Ohio either goes to space or to Space Jam. That's what happens. Cool. You guys are like, it's clever. It's not really that funny. But it's, if you post that as like a tweet, maybe, you know. Well, I'm happy to be in Tacoma. I like Tacoma. I actually went to school here, University of Phoenix, online. So, great to be back. I played volleyball, obviously. I like Tacoma. Tacoma's my favorite city in Washington. Tacoma's the only city that actually puts a hospital on MLK Street, you know? What a great idea. What a time saver, right? You get shot. Hey, man, you need an ambulance? Nah, it's right up here. I'll just walk. It's fine. Oh, God. You live near what?
I live near that hospital.
Oh, okay. That's convenient. How many times have you been shot? You've heard it too many times. Well, that doesn't help the joke. It's called yes and, motherfucker, not, well, actually. I'm just kidding. It's a beautiful day. Here's the thing. I think it's weird. We don't talk enough that we live next to a volcano. Does anyone else find that just... Like, people come to visit. They're like, oh, what's that? I'm like, oh, it's where Godzilla sleeps. No big deal. You know, one day he's going to wake up and burn everything down. But until then, like, it's very... I think it's because it's like 50 miles from the city. So you only see it on a perfectly clear day, right? Which means our weather is 6 months of gray and rain and depression and Kevorkian, right? And then like the first day of spring, you come out of hibernation like vitamin D, and then there's just a mountain holding a knife, you know? And I could kill you at any moment. I didn't hear that, but I'm sure she was going, this guy's a genius. That's what I heard. I don't know what you guys, we'll check the tape later, but it was definitely, I can confirm. Cool. You guys are even fun, but for like, short leash. You're like, don't stray too far, motherfucker. Just stick to the rivers and lakes you're used to. I like being a pothead. People say that marijuana makes you stupid, and but also that's the point. Think of the dumbest person you know. I bet they're really happy. Who's the real idiot? I'm Googling election results by zip code. He's twirling a leaf in the woods, and he's 10 times happier than me. Marijuana's great. Recommend it to everybody I know. The great thing about marijuana as a drug is that you can't overdose on it, right? It's like, you can, it's just not lethal. You're not gonna die. Like, the other night I was smoking and a helicopter flew so low it shook my entire house. I was like, they're probably dropping chemicals on us. And then I was like, oh, that's too much pot. I hit the limit, you know? I did read one study that said because marijuana is so addictive, that if you pair it with a good habit, you could become addicted to the good thing also. I was like, that seems, it seems, I guess it's an association game in your brain. Like if all you do is smoke pot and eat Cheetos, every time you smoke pot, your brain is like, it's Cheeto time, right? But if you replace Cheetos with like spelling, you, I don't know who's doing, I smoke pot and practice my spelling. The example they gave in the article is that some people smoke pot and then they work out and they become addicted to working out. I was like, that seems counterintuitive. Unless the workout is just you getting off the couch. Whoa, these pizza boxes are heavy. But I tried it, it is super effective because in the middle of your workout, you just forget how many reps you've done. Yeah, 1, 2. If only the good die young. Is Billy Joel calling my grandpa an asshole? Shit, where was I? 1, 2. My left arm's fucking ripped. Why do squirrels move like there's always a strobe light? That's a dead-on squirrel impression. You guys are giving me nothing. Jesus, what do I gotta do to get a laugh out of you guys? Fuck you guys. All right, all animal jokes, that's what you guys get from now on. Oh, they're throwing a fit. Fuck this, no more. Please, we take it, we'll laugh at the squirrel, I'm sorry. It's too late. I don't have any pets that I know of, but there is something growing in my fridge. I just haven't named it yet, but my brother just bought a $10,000 cat from Russia. Yeah, we call it his meow order bride. Oh, I wanted to do good jokes, but you didn't laugh at the good jokes, so we're doing animal jokes. Fuck you guys, okay? You should have laughed at the squirrel thing. This is your fault. This was a choose your own adventure show, and you guys chose violence. Maybe next time someone does a perfect squirrel impression, you won't look at him like he's nuts. I just got a new roommate, and I'm trying to kick him out, but it's tough because he's a spider. All animal jokes. Fuck you guys. I was leaving the house one day. I saw a spider on the ceiling, and I was like, oh shit, I don't own a broom. It's probably why there's a bunch of bugs in the house. So I left, I got a broom, I came back, I'm getting ready to kill the spider, but then there was a fly in my room also. I was like, I don't have time to be chasing 17 different insects. I'm a very famous comedian, I've got a show in Tacoma in 6 months to get ready for it. So I look at the spider, I go, hey man, you take care of that fly, I'll let you hang out for a couple more days. I smoke a lot of pot, right? So I left, I turned into Dr. Doolittle. I left, I came back, the fly was in the spider web. He fucking got him. He listened to me. Yeah, I looked at the spider, I go, way to go, buddy. He was like, he's got 8 legs. That's the whole joke. All right, okay, I was just saying. That's all right. He seemed confused. He's like, I don't. Why did I pay for VIP? This is so dumb. I just didn't want him driving home. I don't get the spider thing, but. All right. It's good. It's good. Good times. I was in New York City a couple months ago auditioning for Netflix and didn't get it, so yeah, fuck Netflix. Woo, oh, thank you. Thank God. I didn't want you ruining my favorite streaming platform. Bitch. No, I'm just kidding. Do you work for Netflix? Is that how this goes? I wasn't gonna make a big deal out of it, but fuck you. That's how I do, every show I say fuck Netflix, we're gonna start a boycott tonight. They're gonna be like, we lost 8 people from Tacoma, we should have signed the spider guy. And then one lady bought 8 subscriptions to make up from all that, so that's very weird. I feel like we broke even. The audition was in New York City, so I flew in a couple days early and splurged on a really nice hotel and inside of it. And I was on the 44th floor of the hotel in Manhattan, and birds kept hitting the window. All animal jokes. Birds were like flying into the window way more than I thought should be normal. But then I realized what's happening. Like, I'm walking around naked, and the bird just sees a huge worm in the hotel room. Oh. Well, look, even if it's a huge worm that's a tiny dick, it's a great joke. Just laugh at the... Why are you guys so snobby all of a sudden? 40 minutes into a show, you're like, oh, okay, all right. We can see the imprint through your jeans. It's not that huge, you know? Thank you. This is going well for the first half. I thought, like, these people like me and they're enjoying themselves. You guys take your time. I got 10 more minutes to kill, so honestly, if we just tell one more joke, the rest of it, I don't want to risk losing confidence in the rest of my... At least if I can skip to some good ones here. Birds, that was fun. Speaking of things flying into buildings in New York City. Oh, too soon? Good. My whole point, I want you guys to hate me the rest of the show. Good. Bring it on, bitches. I was at the airport recently. I saw a guy with a t-shirt on it that said 9/11 was an inside job. I was like, why would you wear that shirt in an airport? You know what else is an inside job? Cavity searches. It's my favorite. Every joke you go, why do I laugh at this? I don't know if 9/11 was an inside job. I wasn't there, but I don't know. I like conspiracies though. It's fun to think about. You know, my favorite conspiracy is the deep state conspiracy, which means there's like a secret government running shit, and the presidents are just puppets. And my friends call me crazy. I prefer the term optimistic. Because otherwise, that means the last two presidents are actually in charge of important shit, and that's fucking terrifying. Right now, we have a president with the attention span of a goldfish, and the last guy was literally a goldfish. Orange and bloated and like flushing things down the toilet. All animal jokes, guys, come on. I take it back. My favorite conspiracy was the vaccine, the COVID vaccine. Oh, there's a microchip in the vaccine. I don't think there's a microchip in the vaccine. I do think there's a microchip in the My Pillows. I think that's what's going on. It's obviously connected to a tiny speaker that just whispers subliminal messaging. Every night as you lay down to bed, it's like, the election was stolen. The election was stolen. You're very manly. You know? What do they call those things? A white noise machine? Oh, all right. No, it's fine. Listen. Don't worry about it. It's getting harder to tell vaccine jokes. They're becoming less effective over time. When I first started telling vaccine jokes, like 93% of the crowd loved it. Unless they got the J&J, you know? And then a couple months later, I noticed, like, hey, I think the laughter is starting to wane a little bit. My buddy's like, dude, just get a second vaccine joke. That'll bring your laughter back to the original levels. I was like, oh, great idea. Now, a year later, it's like, I think you need a third or a fourth vaccine joke. I'm like, I don't know. They're like, do you have one that's okay for 5-year-olds? I'm like, fuck no, I don't. I don't know what kind of long-term damage that could cause, exposure to jokes. It'd be pretty scary. We gotta stop fighting about it though, you know? We gotta get along with each other. We need one of those coexist bumper stickers where the X is just 2 needles and then the O is like a horse pill or whatever. I don't know what the what they were into, but yeah, just, you know, I mean, like, look, if I knew this many anti-vaxxers were gonna live, I wouldn't have called them a bunch of grandma killers. And I'm sure they regret all the, they don't care, but you know. They're like, good. stupid, though. You know, we gotta get along with each other. We're all in this together. That's the moral of the story, right? If you're liberal, you're gonna need conservative friends, right? Because one day, your car is gonna break down. And then what? I'll tell you what, 3 douchebag comedians on the side of a road going, I don't even know why we opened this hood, to be honest. There's green shit everywhere. They did not cover this in my liberal arts degree. How many pride flags have you seen at auto body shops? I'm just saying, all right? You're gonna limp to a Jiffy Lube and he's gonna go, just give me 20 minutes. You're like, all right, let's go, Brandon. Oh, please fix it. That was my favorite political story, the Let's Go Brandon, right? Because it stands for fuck Joe Biden. But they say it like they think it hurts my feelings. They're always like, fuck Joe Biden. I'm like, oh no, not my 6th choice for president. Oh no, leave Joe alone. He's got dementia. Well, strong take, person, woman, man, camera, TV. Yeah, he's old as fuck. He doesn't know how to tweet. That's why we picked him. You know, it's like a feature, not a bug, you know? But I don't care. Say it if it makes you feel better. Say it. You know. I do hope that like a trans athlete named Brandon wins an Olympic gold medal someday, because then all the bigots would have to buy new T-shirts. But yeah. Other than that, have a blast. The new thing now is they think Disney's indoctrinating their children, right? Which is weird. I've watched Disney movies with my nieces. They seem fine. I don't pick up any subliminal, like I watched Encanto and like all the songs are like, hey, you're still a good person even if you can't lift 6 donkeys. I'm like, that seems like good messaging. Those seem like good morals to have. I don't know, but now they're like, the Daily Wire is spending $100 million to make their own versions of kids' TV shows. I can't wait for Republican versions of kids' TV shows. Hey, Blues Clues, can you help us find 11,000 votes in Georgia? By the way, Blue's actually red now because of the animal testing. But where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? She's in Ukraine looking for Hunter Biden's laptop. Introducing our newest cartoon, Dora the Deporter. No! It's a joke. She's not deported. She's still in a cage. I know! What happened? I thought voting for Joe would stop that. Turns out the only thing liberals like cage-free is their eggs. Wow! You guys are like... Have you seen the price of eggs? Fucking bullshit. Silly to fight about politics, I think. I dated a girl that was a Trump supporter for a couple months, you know, just trying to do my part to reach across the aisle. You know, more like reach around the aisle, you know. But she ended up dumping me because I kept making fun of Trump. That was like a big deal breaker for her. She ended up sending me like a 6-page breakup email. And at the very bottom she wrote, "It's a shame people let politics divide us like this." I was like, you're the one that's upset. I'm still trying to fuck you. Like, I don't understand. Why can't we just come together? If we could just look at things from a different perspective, like doggy style, I know you would see things my way. Because we're both looking the same turn. I was like, this is a risky one. See how that goes. She tried to troll me during the election. She sent me a photo of her toenails, and they were painted red and blue with the words Trump on it. So I wrote her back and said, hey, that's convenient, because once you're done with the nail polish remover, you can drink it and cure your COVID. And I know she doesn't deserve to die in the joke, but I gotta stop talking about my failed relationships on stage. Girls tell me all the time that they hate it, which is weird to me. Taylor Swift makes an album about her exes, everyone loves it. I make an album about my ex, and a judge tells me to stop playing it on her voicemail, track by track. It's a double standard. And I'm sick of it. And look, I'm not saying I seek out someone with the opposite views as I have. It's just not a deal breaker immediately, right? Like, what I'm trying to say is if that ass is round, the earth can be flat. I'm cool with that, you know? I think that's a motto we can all get behind. I have a couple of shirts for sale after the show, so the government doesn't know how to make money, and you know, just I gotta pay for the graffiti to get off my billboard. It's a joke about people with fake service dogs, because I have a friend that has a service dog, but it's a Chihuahua. I was like, I don't think that counts. She's like, no, it helps with my anxiety. I'm like, the dog shakes more than you do. I think your service dog needs a service dog, to be honest. So it's just an emotional support t-shirt, right? Because if you're feeling sad and you don't have your service dog or your vape pet, you know, you just pet this guy and it lines up with your nipples. You're like, I feel so much better already. All my anxiety's disappeared. I need emotional support underwear. She's got a bowl full of pills and the name tag says Xanax. So pick that up. Something for the kids to wear to school. And all the money goes to charity, by the way. Or Cinnamon, whoever's working. And I'm trying to put some kids through college, huh? This one, you know, we're so divided as a country, we just need to come together and reach around the aisle. Yeah. Unity. People after shows are always like, why does this donkey gotta be the one on the bottom? I'm like, do you watch the news? We are getting fucked. And I think we like it, kinda. So, yeah, pick this up and wear it to your Thanksgiving dinner. And, you know, your weird Republican brother won't talk to you anymore, you know? Unless he's your stepbrother. All right. Oh, don't get mad at me because you watch porn. That's not fair. I just said words and you're like, I get it. Fuck you. And I'm like, no one had to know until you announced it to everybody. Problematic? Well, show's canceled. Take down the billboard. All right. I don't know what that was. If you buy a t-shirt, I will throw in a free beer koozie, $700 value. Ooh. It's got all my social media on there. You can track me down, send me some hate mail. Andrew J. Rivers, Instagram, YouTube, OnlyFans, those kind of things. You know, all right, buddy, I see you. I'll see. Well, that's the first one he doesn't laugh at. All right. No. There's a joke on the other side, too, because I saw a bumper sticker one time say, cars are like wives. If it ain't yours, don't touch. I was like, what a dumb sticker. So I just made these things. They say, cars are like wives. I accidentally banged yours. It was an accident. I left a note, okay? Calm down. Insurance is going to cover it. Because she was totaled. Am I right? Oh. All right, thank you guys very much. My name is Andrew Rivers. Please come back and support Tacoma Comedy Club.
Keep it going for Andrew Rivers! Thank you guys so much for coming.